Good morning, brothers and sisters. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Honoke. Welcome to our Morning Honoke. To start off, let's offer a greeting, a bow to our heavenly parents and true parents. 천진 참부모님께 경배, 바로. Now, let us read Family Pledge number 2. 이 천일국주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참부모님을 모시어 전주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 중심, 세계에서는 성인, 전주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. Our family, the owner of Chonilguk, pledges to represent and become central to heaven and earth by attending the heavenly parent and true parent. We pledge to perfect the dutiful family way of filial sons and daughters in our family, patriots in our nation, saints in the world, and divine sons and daughters in heaven and on earth by centering on true love. Okay, and now to open us up in prayer today, I'd like to ask Masai Joseph. Masai Joseph, could you open us up in prayer?
Good morning, everybody.
See you.
Journey prayer. Dear Heavenly Parents, true parents of Jesus Christ, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to get together as brothers and sisters. And thank you so much for New Jersey Family Church for having us to offer our morning fundoque. We are now try to reach out to our two mothers' heart. Two mother is really determined to have North and South Korea unification. And then that didn't come through because she wants to be a great person in the history. It didn't come through because that's good for to do. Because she really knows your heart, and she knows all humankind's sufferings. So that this is something she has to. She really longing to achieve as two mother and heavenly parents. Please let us unite two mother's heart. Our leadership has been changed, and then they are trying to connect to you directly. Two mother is kindly give us Choshinwon, so many communities, and then America has been suffering because of so many spiritual burden, and it's two mothers' love for us, for America, to share the Choshinwon. So I'm really grateful that the staff who are keeping Choshinwon prayer hall, and please through this prayer hall, we can have so many breakthrough, we can have so many revelations, and then we can work and we can do a lot of things. We are going to witness people who doesn't know divine principle, two parents. To witness, we have to experience. So we just share the experience and the witnessing. So this is a morning we are learning and then gain the spiritual force, power. So please guide and help us this meeting, this session. Thank you so much. I report all these things with everybody's prayers in the name of Raoul and Masai Joseph, the member of Blessed Central Families. Adieu.
Ju. Thank you. Thank you, Masai-san. Thank you. All right, so we're gonna go into our morning exercise. Just quick stretches. So everyone, let's reach up to the sky. And then come down lower. Down. Reach the sides. Now let's turn to the sides one at a time. Switch sides. Now let's turn our body. Left side. Now right side. Shrug your shoulders forward. Now shrug your shoulders backwards. Slowly. Move your arms backwards. Fix your posture. Neck backwards. Alright, now let's rotate our necks. Go counterclockwise. Now go clockwise. Alright, let's rotate our wrists. Shake it off, shake your whole body. Alright, we're going to go into our gratitude sharing now. So let's take some time to think about what we're grateful for this morning. Share it with whoever you're paired up with, and we'll be back here to share with everyone else. See you all soon. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful sharing in your breakouts. I'd like to first call Reverend Thomas Corley from Long Island to share with us his gratitude point this morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, it was a surprise to end up with red spread. He came to our room. So anyway, very nice to be together with Hiroko and Resfred and Hannah as well. It was very nice. So I shared a little bit. Sometimes, of course, I'm in quite a lot of pain most of the time as a result of my stroke. And so I guess it's a little hard to think about anything else when you're in pain. But just I shared, that's about almost 2 years ago now since I had the stroke. And I've been dealing with this issue for that length of time. But it puts you in a different place and slows everything down in your life. And so you tend to look at things maybe more from a spiritual perspective when you're dealing with an issue like that. And so I'm just learning to live with it, and at the same time try to be grateful for the fact that I can still walk and talk, although with quite a bit of pain in the background. So that was my gratitude this morning. Also, I mentioned Resfred was saying how much love he's receiving from his wife and from her family. And I was telling him, well, Resfred, because you've been serving the public purpose, he was a little worried about receiving all the time. So I said, well, because you've been serving the public purpose, God is loving you right now. So thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Corley. Thank you. Next, I'd like to call on Hiroko-san, Hiroko Hiroi, to share with us her gratitude.
Good morning, everybody. This morning, it's an enormous blessing. I saw Respect Hannah. I wish them to share. Please share Respect and Hannah together.
Yeah, you can come. I'm the MC, Hiroko-san. We'll share. Good morning, everyone. So here's Hannah. You want to go first?
Oh, I was just saying I was grateful for Resfred because not grateful his car broke down, but kind of because he's stuck here at my house and we could spend a lot of time together the past 2 weeks compared to the rest of the year. And I always feel God's love through him every single day. Yeah, and just really grateful God brought him to my life every morning. I'm like, wow, so grateful to God. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and I don't know what kind of love she's feeling from God through me. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, but I do know that 3 days ago I was sick. I had a fever for like half a day. Actually, when I came back from Belvedere, and I just, it was like moving. I didn't feel anything. And as soon as I got back home, I laid down on the bed, and I just I just felt everything just come on top of me. And the next day, for half the day, I felt it was a really high fever, around 104.5. But in this household, there's a nurse practitioner, her older sister. So my father-in-law and her contacted her sister, and they just kind of ordered in a prescription of antibiotics, without leaving the house. I feel like, good heavens, I don't remember the last time I got a prescription without leaving the house. And I was just on the bed the whole day. And then she went to pick up the antibiotics, brought it, made food for me. And so in many ways, it's just like, I didn't do anything. It's like, I just keep receiving love over and over. The parents always making food. My father-in-law brought me tea right before morning handoke, and it's just like I'm receiving so much, and that's why I'm a little wary. What indemnity do I have to pay? But what I did say was that, in many ways, this is God's love. God always wants to give, and forgets that they've given and give again, and it's an experience of that. And so, yeah, I only have gratitude for everything that's been going on. So that's my gratitude. My car broke down, but it's okay. It's okay, because it's an opportunity for God to show me his love. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
We're going to go into our morning hundoke now. So let's open up our hearts and mind to receive from our true mother, to connect more to the heart and the essence of our true mother. Let's go.
Welcome to Mother of Peace, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. A memoir by Hak Jahan Moon, a production of the Washington Times Global Media Group, narrated by Alison Hiroto. In early 1981, when my husband and I heard that the Washington Star, the conservative voice in Washington, D.C., was closing down, we were concerned. There were two well-established newspapers in that city, the Washington Star and the Washington Post. The Washington Star, which had been in operation for over 130 years, had run into financial difficulties. Soon, there would be only one newspaper in the most politically powerful city of the United States, and that newspaper, the Washington Post, was left-leaning in its editorial stance. There was a need for a newspaper in Washington that would protect faith, freedom, and family values, and no American conservatives were willing to step into the breach. When my husband and I decided to take this on, people trying to be prudent and wise told us again and again that it would be difficult to publish a new newspaper in the capital of the United States. We had never shied away from a task because it was difficult, and we didn't then. On May 17th, 1982, after a great deal of effort to find a building and printing presses and hire competent, dedicated staff, the first issue of the Washington Times was published. Opponents said that the Washington Times would be a propaganda instrument for the Unification Church, but such words reflected prejudice. It is difficult these days to run a newspaper at a profit. The Washington Times lost money from the outset, yet its absence would leave no conservative newspaper in the U.S. Capitol. It would mean the newspaper that championed faith and family would have disappeared. Seeing the financial spreadsheets, people wondered, how long until they closed down? Nonetheless, the more they doubted us, the greater was my husband's and my faith, and the greater was the commitment of the Washington Times staff. Together with them, we resolutely defended democracy while advocating family values, morality, and the role of women. As a result, the newspaper's popularity grew. Every year the paper did better, and now, in the age of the Internet, it is one of the most influential newspapers in the United States. At a banquet to commemorate the 15th anniversary of the newspaper's founding, we received congratulatory messages from well-known leaders worldwide. Former U.S. President Ronald Reagan let people know that we played a key role in defeating communism when he said of the newspaper, "Like me, you arrived in Washington at the beginning of the most momentous decade of the century. Together we rolled up our sleeves and got to work. And, oh yes, we won the Cold War." Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher of the United Kingdom also expressed her gratitude. She sent greetings saying, "In difficult times, even more than in easy ones, the voice of conservatism must make itself heard in the media. It isn't always easy, but of this we can be sure. While the Washington Times is alive and well, conservative views will never be drowned out." The Washington Times is influential, yet it is not a newspaper appealing only to the elite. It represents all people and inspires citizens to live decent and healthy everyday lives. The Washington Times has established itself as a voice of truth for people all over the world. Justice after tears. In the 1990s, when the Chinese government initiated its Northeast Asia project to clarify historical facts and protect that area's stability, the Sege Ilbo newspaper sent a correspondent to the cities of Dalian and Tandong to do research. The correspondent was eager to visit the site of the Lixian courthouse in Dalian, formerly a Japanese colonial court in that city, which the Japanese called Ryojun. Yet the courthouse, where a number of Korean patriots had been unjustly tried, was nowhere to be found. The Chinese government had long since sold the building. My husband and I heard this report with heavy hearts. It pained Koreans to hear how the historical footprints of our heroes and heroines of the independence movement, who had risked their lives for Korea's freedom, were gradually disappearing. We decided to buy the building. To us, the Lixian Courthouse is priceless. It represents the suffering of the Korean people in modern history and the legacy of their patriotic spirit. Our viewpoint, shared by many Koreans, was that such a historic site should not have fallen into indifferent hands. In the end, after negotiating with the owner, the Sege-Ilbo Corporation bought the building and restored the Lixian Courthouse as a museum. They invited experts to visit the site, and after conducting thorough research of old documents, they recreated the original courtroom. The Lixian Courthouse site is now a must-see historic landmark for freedom for young people from China and Korea and others who visit Dalian. As this was a project benefiting all of Korea, we invited Korean citizens to contribute money. In 1993, through the Sege-Ilbo Corporation, we founded the Yosun Patriotic Martyrs Memorial Foundation Corporation. Besides gathering historical stories about the bravery, determination, and sacrifice of those who fought for Korea's independence, the foundation also works for peace in Northeast Asia. Historically, relations between neighboring countries in Northeast Asia have been complicated. Creating peace is like unraveling a ball of tangled yarn. It is difficult to find where to begin. But nothing will be accomplished by sitting with arms crossed. When the Sege Times Corporation reconstructed the Lixian Courthouse, it did so to capture the anguish of the past age and enable visitors to experience the history of the Korean people overcoming a national crisis. It also points to the importance of creating peace within and among nations. As well as launching newspapers in Japan and the United States, our movement launched Tiempos del Mundo in Latin America and the Middle East Times in Istanbul. But it was only in 1989 that the Korean government instituted the freedom of the press that allowed us to launch the Sege-Ilbo newspaper in Seoul. Since a religious movement founded the newspaper, we naturally faced opposition. As in the United States and Japan, mockery circulated. Just watch it become a mouthpiece promoting the Unification Church, people said. It'll be nothing but a religious tract. The haughtiest voices predicted, it'll stop printing before the year is out. But our determination to produce a professional news source that could serve Korea by providing fair and unbiased news and opinion was unwavering. On February 1st, 1989, the presses started up and 1.2 million copies of the first edition of Sege-Ilbo came rolling out. We held fast to the creed that the news media must be the voice of conscience and of the truth. This conviction has remained steadfast for more than 30 years. Our efforts garnered more than just verbal criticism. After Sege-Ilbo exposed the Korean ruling party's corruption, innocent and unrelated enterprises we had founded were suddenly subjected to overbearing tax investigations that drove some into bankruptcy. The government targeted companies such as Dong-il Industries, which produced essential machine parts, and Dongyang Agricultural Machinery, which manufactured specialized farming equipment, and forced them to shut down. Various powerful interests demanded that we fire the newspaper's chief editor. We did not surrender to threats or enticements. Instead, we raised the banner of social justice and virtue. Over time, with steadfast publishing of valuable news and opinion, Sege Ilbo has prevailed. When my husband and I conceived of Sege Ilbo, we knew it was being born into the world at a turbulent time. Though it has stood alone as a pine tree in an empty field, Sege Ilbo has consistently defended justice while exposing fraud, corruption, and other social ills. The newspaper caters to no political ideology or religious group. Its editors and reporters are exemplary professionals, investing their blood, sweat, and tears for the citizens of Korea and of the world.
Thank you for listening to Godable. Visit motherofpeacebook.com to purchase the complete audiobook. Godable is made possible by listeners like you. To donate, visit godable.org. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, True Mother. And sharing a reflection today, I'd like to call on Assistant Pastor Atsushi Takino.
Good morning. Good morning, brothers and sisters. How are you today? What I stood me out after reading the story of Little Angels and the Washington Times, Sege Ilbo, that reminded me that Dr. King spoke us. How much can we understand Messiah, God's providence? That's the last sermon at the Belvedere. No one can understand God's providence except true parents. So there are many dissenting, reasonable voices when true father or true mother spoke about new ideas. Most of the reason they disagree the idea is because of the money, financial situation. However, I realized there were always members who believe true parents, 100%. And those members made amazing stories. But that's not only the Unification Church world. Even Toyota or many success companies, their leader has an innovative idea. Then many of them, we never tried that way, or we are not ready to do that, something like that. But always some members totally unite with leader or innovative idea. Those members always bring the success, or the miracles happen. So they had a faith to God and the true parents in our unification world, and they had a strong commitment. I now understand why true mother emphasized she is begotten daughter. I hear her inner voice, that she is a oneness with God. That's why you can believe me. The essence of true father, true mother wants us understanding the essence of heavenly parent, essence of true father, essence of true mother. I shared last time in not this cycle, previous cycle of my reflection. The most important word is the parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, which means heavenly parent and true parents are oneness. We call that Chonjin Champonim. They are the one. That's why we can trust them 100%. Therefore, she is asking us unite with her. Then anything will be possible. Like our faithful elders made many amazing stories. The Hebrew 11:1 talk about the faith. Now, faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. If we truly believe it, faith to God and true parents, we will take action naturally. Nobody forced me. Nobody pushed me. I can naturally to move my action if we truly believe it. This is my reflection today. Thank you.
Thank you, Takino-san. Thank you. Now we're going to go into our breakouts now. So anything that stood out to you, please share with whoever you're paired up with, and we'll be back to hear 1 or 2 sharings. See you all soon. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. All right. So, first to share, I'd like to call on Chao Yi to share with us his reflection from today's morning Hundoke. Chao Yi Lee.
Good morning, brother, sister. Today, reading that I shared about True Mother's mentions purchasing the Lushun Dalian Courthouse Museum. That place is, I had a chance to study a little bit. It's commemorates a patriot in early 1900 when South Korea was occupied by Japanese, and that that person was a patriot, and he assassinated the Prime Minister of Japan. That's why he was captured, prosecuted, and died there. And it's quite a history about this. So that was my sharing during the this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Kochai, for sharing with us that piece of history. Next, I'd like to call on Monica Lewis to share with us her reflection as well.
Okay, yes, I was thinking of, the beginning of the Washington Times, right? Abraham founded it in Danbury in the most miserable, humiliating position, if you think of externally, but yet he's such a visionary and initiated the media and felt the need for it. And I was in 1991, I was in Korea, and I saw the couples that were blessed in 89, they were early in the morning. I wasn't part of that mobilization, but they were early in the morning. Even students at Someone University would distribute, from 5 o'clock until 7 or whatever. They had their paper route and they would distribute from home to home, the Segilbo at the time. And what struck me in the whole reading was basically the sentence here when it said, Segi Ilbo has consistently defended justice while exposing fraud, corruption, and other social ills. That's really the mission of any newspaper or media that's based on facts, right, and truth. That's what you would think they do, but the fact is many times they just are based on corruption and trying to cover up things that they like fraud and try to rather not convey the truth, but really give us a biased perspective. That's why I'm very selective what kind of media I listen to, because unless you were there at the actual event, you don't really know, right, what happened and how much you can believe and how much is really opinion and is manipulation. So I think the moral code is so crucial, and integrity for any institution. So even the presidential debates, I really don't like them because, I feel like you have to do so much research yourself and it gets so heated. And honestly, one of them is always a liar. I think if one is true, then the other must be a liar because it's opposing facts that they present. So it's very, very critical. The media, and we know they influence so many people. That's just worrisome. So we need a able type media coverage in the world, really. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Aunt Monica. All right, so announcement. We do have some pastors. Some people are currently in Vegas, so but they'll be coming back soon. And then soon we're going to have kind of more variety reflection sharing from anyone who's been to Vegas to share on this morning Hundoke. But outside of that, there's not much else except for the fact that we are continuing our residence prayer. So we're going to continue our Chonshimwon prayer representing the Chonshimwon, or sort of connecting us to Chonshimwon today will be Higuchi-san. So Mr. Higuchi, Reverend Higuchi, President Higuchi, our Kodan president, will be offering a prayer to begin for the first 3.5 minutes, and then we'll all pray all together for the later half of the 3.5 minutes for a combined 7-minute prayer condition. So, Higuchi-san.
Yes, please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Parents, dear parents, thank you. We are gathered together here today, this morning. Hundoke. We offer
our heart to the parents, the heavenly parents. To start this morning, we really appreciate, grateful. We gather here, centered on Chonshin Wang.
Yes.
Through Mother gave us last gift to us to communicate with God directly.
Yes.
Through parents show us the videos heart what God, the relationship human being and God with you as the parent and children relationship. Thank you. We didn't know much about you. We didn't know how you being guiding this history. From against this history we have been with much suffering, how much offering. We didn't know much about you. Thank you. Appreciate your parents on the earth. Show us, give us all the world, and then we are realized to make effort to get with you through Chonshin Wang, through Mother gave us.
Yes.
Now we are appreciate this new president, Damian Dantley, and Dr. Kim become one literally unto parents, especially to the mother. And then now they are in the Las Vegas Chonshin Wang, giving all the connections to the mother. We really think about that to the mother, what you're doing. Mother, we are really become one, want to become one with you.
Yes.
Please, today, one day, we study this Chonshin Wang. Think about you, and we are living for you. And then we have become one with you to heaven or earth, especially by North and South Korea.
Yes.
And then we can open the heart to the mother.
Yes.
And then we have to really open the door to North. And we need to prepare for sacrificing, for build the heaven, unifying Korean Peninsula. And we really need us to be witnessing to inspire many people. Thank you. I'm really grateful. We're giving the recent pray. We need to really connect to the parents and the heavenly parents. I really appreciate grateful, pray together with heart of our old brother and sister here. Pray my name, Luke Higuchi, President of the family. Adieu.
Adieu. Adieu. Let's now go into a 3.5 minute prayer altogether. Please feel free to unmute.
전진 짬뽕이
morning, children in heaven and on earth. You work so hard from the very time you were in the spirit world. You take care of your children. Hardship. We look at your life as it is lifted.
totally invest her heart, life,
to our preparing learn to see
we're going to establish
Christianity is the Holy Spirit and
true love.
we learned also recently that
What we can do in America,
resurrected Jesus, the Holy Spirit, because he gave his life, who were the one and recognized
protect
love
America, true family,
and
protect America.
humanity.
Heavenly Parents,
Remember the sentence
please start
said to the
members,
crying women
members,
in the New Testament. They should worry about him. They should worry about
support true parents' vision,
their future.
true mother's idea.
When
We are
I
the one who can protect true mother.
to mother's message, we
Can support true mother.
feel all desperate. It's not desperate in a bad way. He implored us to really think about our life, destiny, the essence of your heart, true parents' heart and vision and mission. What I gathered from her is she can't do any more except supporting us. In one of the public speeches, I will trust you, I will support you. Don't want to forget that because it was a promise. I don't want to forget. Our mother said, I want to trust you.
Aju. Okay. Thank you all for joining us. Day 2 of Resonance Prayer. We're going to stop counting at some point. So it's going to be every day. And I did see the comments in the chat, so we'll adjust next time. But thank you all for joining. Today's morning Hundoke. It's just great seeing everyone each morning, everyone kind of coming together, making an offering, but also just wanting to connect to Mother's heart. It's really inspiring and it's just nice to see everyone every morning. So that's it. Today's day 2. Today was the day the skies were formed, and so please look up at the skies and give thanks to God for everything up there. Thank you all for joining. Have a wonderful rest of your day. See you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Have a good
Thank you so
day.
much.
Bye.
Have a nice day.
Bye.
Great day.
Love you.
Family.
Good morning, Hannah.
Say
Thank
have
you,
a
Miss
wonderful
Fred.
day.
Thank you,
Good morning, Red
Judgy.
Spread.
Dialog.
Good morning,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good day.
Okay.
A wonderful day, everybody.
Good morning, Brother Bush.
Day in New
President Bush.
Hampshire.
Have a great day, everyone. Have a great day. We'll be
Bless you all.
about 5 seconds.
Oh, don't go, please.